Friends, welcome back. It's time for another episode of BigDenoPlays, and today we are going to try out a brand new campaign game. It's called Kinfire Chronicles Night's Fall, and it looks exceptional. It looks exceptionally different. It looks exceptionally innovative in quite a few ways. I will tell you that the very first time I opened the box of this game, I let out a sound that can only be described as awe and excitement. It was it's an incredible presentation of the product. And let me go to the table and I'll show you what I mean. So this is the game. This we'll get into a few things very soon, but this here that you're looking at is actually the lid of the box, and inside the box are these player boxes for the characters. But that's not all. There is a treasure chest that keeps treasure stuff in that we will open and no doubt find out. All of these sealed envelopes and things as well. You have a box on the very top of the thing which is called the welcome box. And in that welcome box, it has the very first rulebook which tells you about the game and getting started. And then it also has a few things for you to punch out and stuff, but it doesn't like overload you. And then it slowly builds you into the game. So we're going to try. I've actually read very little of the rules. I've just watched a few playthroughs, and we're going to muddle our way through. But look, I think we'll be okay. So I was blown away. And then so there's 21 individual scenarios in the game. And every one of them has a little box that's numbered, and inside is all of the implements you need for the scenario. But they've also got a picture on the side of it that when they're all put in the box side by side, it shows a picture of the world. And it's like, I was blown away. I don't think I've seen a production of this quality, and maybe ever. Let me think. There's certainly been games that have impressed me. And, Chip Theory Games produces a lot of games that, have a lot of great product, great quality product. But this was just so user-friendly and so unique. So I'm shuffling these decks, and I'm actually just going to place these decks under here, where you just can't see them, but you will be able to see when I deal myself cards, our hand. We're going to try 3 characters. I might drop down to 2 after I play a little bit, because I normally like to play 2, but there's 6 characters in the box, and I really want to, these 3 characters seem really cool. This series has got other games in the series called the Kinfire Delve series, and the Kinfire Delve looks even more, I've got all 3 of those coming to me at the moment. I'm really excited about them as well. So let's just talk a little bit about what's happening. So first of all, this is the board. Pay no attention to this giant wyvern. We don't know what's happening with him. We have 3 characters. These are actually plastic standees. They normally stand like this, which doesn't do you much good. So we're playing them face down. This is Khor, the big robot guy. This is Valora, helmsman, the archer. And then this is Asha of Brillbrook, who's a little thief, elven thief, rogue type character. So each of these sections, you can have as many people as you want in one section. There's no limit, which is nice. And on your turn, as described over on a character board, such as here, you act, you move, and then you refresh, and you can do that act and move in either order. And all act is you play 1 card from your hand, which I'll explain later, and other players at the board, if you're just playing solo, of course, it'll be you, but other characters have the opportunity to boost those actions. And this feels like a very cooperative game. I really only have one complaint, observation about the game, having not played it, that I think would make, that probably maybe just drops its estimation a little bit, and I'll come back to that when we come to it. But so this is the board. We've got a monster that I won't talk about just yet. We'll talk about him when we get to him. if we get to him. Who knows? Who's to say? And then there's some cards here, some status effects, and some information about the combat flow and stuff, which we'll be able to refer to. So I have literally read the rulebook for about 5 minutes, and I reckon I can play this game. And that is either incredibly egotistical from me or a massive tick on the usability of this game. So let's go over here to the book, because we have this book and it contains all the story cards for the game. When you're instructed to go to a story card, simply turn to the quest and find the relevant cards, etc., etc. So we have been told at the end of our getting started book, we've been told, open the adventure book to quest 1, the road to Vinna, find and open the quest 1 portfolio. And yeah, so that's it. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to open up the book to Road to Vinna, chapter 1. And look at this. Quest 1, the road to Vinna. Let's read this all together. There is actually a foreteller narration which you can purchase. I've elected not to purchase. I may change my mind on that, but I like reading sometimes. This feels like a nice little bite-sized morsels of reading as well, which is nice. So let's proceed. Darkness fell. Every last star in the sky was blackened out. It was madness. The land itself was twisted and transformed overnight, with unknown thousands whisked away to where no one knew. The Starless Nights had returned. Great book by R.S. Salvatore, Starless Night. In this chaos, there stood a single beacon, the elven city of Dinlux. Its Kinfire lighthouse bathed the area in a protective glow. Only those within reach of the lighthouse survived that first starless night, including the great army laying siege to Dinlux that very hour. Sigra the Sickly, the warlord from Dwarfell, who commanded this army, agreed to lay down their weapons, and in exchange, Hierophant Selene opened the gates of Dinlux as a place of refuge. But peace was not so easy. The mercenary leader of the Orcs, Vath of the Tusk Rippers, sensed an opportunity and organised his soldiers to take control of Dinlux in a swift but not unbloody coup. Once an unsteady peace settled in, with Vath sitting at the head of the city council, a new organisation was established, the Seekers Guild. You and your companions are Seekers, a team of well-trained individuals working together on behalf of the people of Dinlux. Your magically crafted Kinfire lanterns allow you to navigate the darkness of the starless nights somewhat safely. Somewhat. Still fresh to the guild, you and your fellow Seekers are out on an assignment, escorting a caravan of workers and priests to Vinna, a nearby farming village. Hierophant Selene will arrive in a few days to complete a new lighthouse, built to protect the people and farms who will become essential to feeding the now overcrowded city. Night is beginning to fall, the normal kind, thankfully, when a dark shadow passes overhead. A shriek breaks the silence, followed by a rustling of leathery wings. A creature, long and scaled, circles and lands before you. A wyvern. You reach for your weapons. Wyvern or wyvern, I don't mind. It may change as we go. Open the atlas to map 1 and then read 1.1. So here's 1.1. So this little marker is used to track what section you're at. How good's that? As you lift your weapons to do battle with the wyvern, a shivery feeling rushes through you. An almost alien feeling of deja vu and correctness, as if you've been waiting all your life for this moment. You gain 2 fate tokens. Next, go to 1.2 and refer to the combat rulebook in Quest 1 to learn how to set up and play a combat. Here we are in 1.2, so I've set this up, believe it or not. If a Seeker is defeated, you lose the quest. Go to 1.3. If the Wyvern is reduced to 0 health, go to 1.4. Excellent. That is it. That is absolutely everything we need to know. Now, I've read the combat book. So let's start by setting up our health dials. So Asha of Brillbook has 11. Valora has 12. And Khor has 14. Khor has also got 3 of these armor cards. And we will place those here. And Khor has the most health. And if we have a look at our Wyvern card, it focuses initially on the person with the most health. So we're going to place those there. We're going to place these armor cards just here. And then we are going to deal out a hand size of 7 cards. Now, if those 7 cards do not include any action cards, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then we redraw. That is a boost. That's an action, action, boost, action, action, boost. Perfect. Here, Asha of Brillbook. She has 1 armor card. So we're going to place that here. And I'll explain how some of this stuff works. Hopefully I can explain how some of it works when we get there. 4, 5, 6, 7. And do we have our boost, 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 action, boost, boost. It's all boosts except for 1 action. So that actually goes there. And last of all, Valora. I'm excited for this game. Like I don't think I've seen a production more impressive than this in a long, long time. This was what I felt like when I opened the box for Gloomhaven, and I hate comparing games to Gloomhaven because that was a truly wonderful experience for me and my friends that played it. And there's probably not quite as much game as there is in Gloomhaven in this box, but there's certainly a really high quality and a really nice feeling of excitement about playing this game. So let's talk about the basic flow of the turn. The enemies have a focus, and we obviously just have the Wyvern here, and his focus is Khor. Now, the enemy has a list of numbers that are next to specific actions that the Wyvern will do. There's the Wyvern's health, and we have a bag of chits. And this is the one thing in the game that will cause some problems if you were to play this with more than 1 person. So the way that we determine initiative is not done by any specific order. All that we do is we draw a chit out of this bag, and whatever chit we draw out will determine who acts. So we are going to start by drawing out a chit and explain what happens. We have a green heart. So the green heart does not refer to a specific character, but it is a positive one for us. So we place the heart on this track here, and we get to choose one of our characters to act. So there's 3 hearts, 1 for each of the colours in the game. So the colours represent different heroic attributes, strength, wisdom, and agility, or something like that. Cool. So we're not going to use Asha of Brillbook. I think we're going to use Valora. So let's have a look at Valora's cards now. Because of the way we set up and the combat quest, we actually gained a free card from the start. So let's just have a look at this combat book, and I'll explain what is going on. I'm really excited. This is going to be fun. So the combat example, the book has a combat example, and so in this special tutorial version of the game, we gain a special card called Beginner's Luck. Now, I'm not going to use it, but I'll explain how the cards work for the purposes of that. So on your turn, we've drawn out a chit, and now you play a card that you can use for your action. And so here is the card that I've chosen, Beginner's Luck. And so each of the cards has a little bit of a story here, which is lovely. And then you also have the action itself that has some potential benefits, as well as a range symbol, which means we're attacking from ranged, and a damage. Now, there's no armor on the Wyvern, so we just do straight 4 damage if we were to use this card. The black fog around the number means that will cause the Wyvern's focus to shift over to the person who hit them because they've done such a glorious hit. So that's how cards work. Now, once you've played a card, the colour of the card is relevant for other players at the table, because if they have a colour that matches your card, they have the option to play a boost. And so let's give an example of a boost card, and here is a boost. So this is a green or blue boost, and if someone plays a green or blue card, you could boost this card, and what that does is, in some cases, it will add a numerical increase to the roll. In other cases, it will gain you a benefit. Like in this instance, it allows you to draw or discard a card. So pretty exciting. That is how the game works in a nutshell. All right, so let's commence. So we're going to use Valora as our person. We're not going to use the tutorial. We're going to just raw dog it. So how many actions do we have? Ooh, acid arrow. Cool, so I think what we're going to use is this acid arrow, but first we might use quick shot. So let's read quick shot together. So we move Valora first, and we move her into this central section. Now Valora has a special rule, her Guardian from Afar rule, and it says, each time Valora enters a space without enemies, she may choose another Seeker within one space of her. That Seeker gains 1 armor. So we'll choose Asha of Brillbrook. She gains 1 armor, and I'll explain how they work when we get hit. And then we're going to use this free action here. And it's a free action, which means we still get to do another action after this because it's called quick shot, unsurprisingly. So we're going to play a quick shot. So that just does 2 damage to our Wyvern. That's a green card. So if we want to boost, we can potentially boost using one of these cards. So we'll boost Asha. She's got a card called Snake Eyes. And that gives 2 additional damage. So we're at 4 right now. So she discards her boost. And then do we have another boost card over here? So remember, it has to be a green. So we have a white boost, but no, we can't do that. So that's it. So we do 4 damage to the Wyvern. And that is our first attack. However, thanks to our quick shot, we get to take another action, and we will shoot with this acid arrow. And so acid arrow says 1 damage, and that also moves the focus over to Valora. So we do 1 damage, and we also get to place up to 3 hurt effects on your target's active abilities. So let's show you how that works. So these cards here are dual-sided. On this side, it looks like this, and this is for the enemy. On this side, it's for the player. So when you take into your hand, such as an armor card, this is the side you use. This is the side that the monsters use. And we get to place 3 of these on abilities however we would like. We're just going to put 1 on each because it seems easiest. We're also going to boost that card with our Asha, who's at 1,000,000 boosts. And we are going to use this one, which is give another Seeker the ability to draw or discard a card. That's blue, yeah, green or blue. Yep. So the reason I want to do that is in Valora's hand now, she only has boost cards. So we will draw a card. Actually, I think we don't want to do that. I think we'll discard a card. Yeah, no, we'll actually keep that because I think what we actually want to do is do that. So if we have a look here, it says, after acting, if you have no action cards in your hand, discard your remaining cards and draw a new hand of 7 plus armor. Boom. And then charge your lantern by turning it face up. And she can do that from anywhere on the map. That is awesome. And then you draw a new hand of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Amazing. She does have action cards. Cool. So that's it. That's a turn. There's a lot of interplay in the cards. There's a lot of interesting things we can do with the cards. But when it comes down to it, what is going to decide our fate is the draw. So we've drawn a number 1. So any drawn stuff goes here in the spent chits. And we now find the number 1 up here and we trigger this card. So the first thing we do is when this ability triggers, discard this card, the enemy suffers 2 damage. So we're down to 24. And then with a sudden lunge, the Wyvern darts forward. So it's going to move straight to Valora. It does move, doesn't it? Yeah. So it moves to Valora and it's going to attack her for 8. So this is a white attack. So that means that we can play a defense against this, which we definitely want to do, hopefully. We can't do that. There's no armor here. So let's see if someone else has some support that they can provide. So we can use this block 2 for another Seeker, Asha's Dagger. So let's use that. We'll block 2. And then over here, Khor. Anytime a Seeker within 1 space of Khor is damaged, Khor may redirect 1 damage to himself. So let's see if he's got a block as well. Yep, so we'll block 1. So we've blocked 3, which means that she's going to take 4 damage. So we're down to 8. And Khor's going to take 1. And that's it. That's the Wyvern's turn. Let's hope he doesn't roll that again. Oh, sorry. And then the Wyvern refocuses. So he goes towards, once again, his most healthy, which remains Khor. We draw a red heart. So that is our choice. So do we go with Valora again? And gain a movement. Valora's bow. When you make a bow attack, if you show this card is in your hand. Yeah, okay. So let's use Valora again, and I've got a reason for that. We're going to move here to the same hex as Khor. When we do that, we get to add armor to a person in a within range 1. So we'll give that to Asha, and then we'll use this fleet arrow. That's going to give us another movement, which we won't use. We can actually. So yeah, so we're going to move again and give out some more armor. So we'll give her another armor. So yeah, we'll move to here. And because I have Valora's bow, which I reveal, I get to add +1. So we've done 3 damage in total. We can boost that. That's once again a green attack. So do we want to boost that with Asha? The only boost we've got is a block there, or draw cards. No. I think we're in the same boat here. Yep, no. So 3 damage to the Wyvern, and that did not trigger his focus because there was no black cloud around the number. So that's it. All right, we've got our first character one. So that is Khor. Oh, we've got a lantern too. Okay, we'll remember that. So Khor's going to move 1 space. Now he only has melee attacks, but he's got plenty of armor, so we want him to be the focus. Oh, Aftershock. Pierce defenses. Oh, this is ranged. Interesting. You may instead play this action as a +2 boost card. Nice. In range for every shield you discard. Pierce defenses. I'm loving this. This is great. There's so many interesting choices. Earthblood Vial action. You and each other seeker in your space. Okay, so we'll do that instead. We'll go to here. we'll play Earthblood Vial. That's an instant card, and everyone gains an armor. 1, 2, including Valora. 3. And yeah, let me just show that off because that card is cool as heck. So yeah, it's a free action. You may perform another action, and that's everyone in your space. Great. And then we will use this blue and pierce defenses on the Wyvern. So that's going to do 3 damage, which takes it down to 18. But do we have anything that we can boost that with? So we're looking for a blue boost now. So that one we can boost with 1 Mule Kick. So we'll do that. And that's down to 17. And it can, any card can be boosted a total of 2 times, I believe. So that one, Valora, do you have a blue boost? Give the Seeker the ability to draw or discard a card. So we'll use that one, and we'll give Khor the ability to draw a card, which is Crush. Excellent. So next player to act, or person to act, is Asha of Brillbrook. Okay. So Asha has armor to burn, but I think she's only got 1 action card, which means that she's going to discard all of this armor and lose it very shortly. That's unfortunate. If after acting you have no action cards in your hand, discard your remaining cards and draw a new hand of 7 cards plus armor. Damn. All right. So she's going to move anyway, and we're going to go to here because we're going to play a sneak attack. So this is an exciting card. It's 1 damage, and she's going to gain the focus, but it says +3 if the target is not already focused on you. So that's great. Not focused on us. It's green or blue. I'd love to get another draw here. Another card draw so that we can hopefully draw an action card. No, we don't have the ability to do that. That's a shame. So it's 4 damage for that one, taking the Wyvern down to 13. And our sneak attack is completed. So we discard all of our cards because all we've got left in there is boosts. And we draw back up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Odd Raven Charm. It's a ward action, stays in play. Cool. Lots of actions there. And we also just draw 1 armor because that is what we have there. So this is where the game could be potentially great or potentially awful because we've just drawn another Asha card. Now, we could draw 4 enemy in a row and that's it, you know, and the fight is over. So, okay, so this is a free action. Send this card to your hand after you draw a new hand. So yeah, so we're going to play this Odd Raven Charm. And we'll play that here. Oh, we also flip her lantern because we reshuffled her hand. Eclipse the sight. You may refocus each enemy focused on Asha to... Oh, this is exciting. So yeah, we're going to play our Odd Raven Charm. When played, gain an armor. And then we can perform another action. We're actually going to use our Eclipse. So we're going to attack for 6. And then after attacking, you may refocus each enemy onto another one. So that's 6 damage. It's a green card. So I don't think we had any boosts available, but we're doing 6 damage. So this guy's down to 7. Haha. And I don't think we had green boosts, did we? None there. Give another Seeker an extra movement. So we haven't moved yet, so we can actually move after this. So we will stay where we are because the Wyvern is not focused on us. And that is all. Seven. So 7, we're going to trigger the Hurt card. So He's going to suffer 2 damage. It goes down to 5. And then he's going to trigger this. The wyvern's massive tail snaps around like a whip, striking anyone within reach. So I think that symbol is bad for us. I think that means everyone attacks. Let's go have a look. So here's our icon cheat sheet. This symbol means attack all enemies in the target's space. So great. So that means that Asha is the only one who's going to get targeted by this attack of 4 damage. So let's reveal these cards now. Armor. When you suffer damage, you suffer 1 less damage for each armor in your hand, and then you discard 1 of them. So that 4 becomes a 2. Khor can take 1 of those. This attack is a white attack, so we can play any boost card. And that's fine, so we'll take 1 on Asha and 1 on Khor. And that is all. Who goes next? It's Khor. Excellent. All right, so I think crush 4 if you discard a shield. Yeah. So we're going to move in. Now, because Asha is in there, her special card says all attacks made by other seekers deal an additional damage to enemies in Asha's space. So we're going to play Crush. It's a red, so it does 1 damage and draws the focus, but we already have the focus. But it deals 5 if we discard 1 of our armor, which we can do, and we will do. So that's 5 damage, and as you can see, the wyvern only has 5, and so we take that down to 0. And let's go over and read over here what happens. If the wyvern is reduced to 0, go to 1-4. The wyvern folds its wings over, finally defeated. You turn to the people, expecting relief and gratitude. Instead, you're met with wide eyes and screams. You turn back in time to see the creature throw open its wings. The battle is not nearly over. The wyvern enters its second stage. Place overlays 1A, 1B, and 1C on its sheet. When an enemy enters a new stage, remove all its statuses. So we remove all its statuses and reset its health to full. However, we have some overlay cards, so let's place those out first. And so we have 1A, 1B, and 1C. 1A is a damaged wyvern picture, which is cool. 1B is his new health, which is 15. And 1C is down here, and it says, with the wyvern's wings shredded, it's unable to fly. All attacks deal 1 less to the wyvern. So if we flip a 10, 11, or 12, he actually does nothing, and that's good. Now, I don't know if we have to return all chits to the bag when you enter leftover damage, ability tokens. No, so we keep the chits going. That's it. Good work, Khor. You're a smasher. Does he have an action card? Yes, he does. Let's repost. Great. We get Asha of Brillbrook. That attack was actually 6 damage, by the way, so 15. So, but all attacks deal 1 less to the wyvern now. Okay, Asha. Do you have any good cards? Snake Eyes. Nice. Blinding Flash. Scorpion Strike. Right in the soft bits. Okay, we're going to play right in the soft bits. That's quite cool. Alright, so it's an attack 2, and it is going to draw focus. Now, that says, after attacking, place 2 weak on enemy's cards. So we're actually going to play both of those on the 8. And that's great. Now we can boost that. We will give Asha this one as a boost, so we can play that as a boost, and that does 2 damage. So we're at 4 so far, but remember it's suffering 1 less. And does Valora have 1? Valora does not. So 3 damage from that attack. 1, 2, 3, down to 12. And then, because of our Scorpion Strike, we can attack, and if you play an action with a printed attack of 2 or less, you may immediately play this action afterwards. So we're going to do that as well, and this is a green, so we could boost again with a green. We don't have any boost there. Do we have a boost here? No, so it's just going to do another 1 to take it down to 11. Good work, Asha. All right, let's hope we get more good ones. A 3, okay, so this is good, sort of. So we're going to reduce the attack by 1 when we discard this card. So we're going to be reducing it by 2. So we're down to an attack 6. It's on Asha because she's the focus. So that 6 is going to be reduced to a 5. And then we have the option to take one of those on Khor. So we're down to 4 damage. Do we have any other stuff? Oh, yep. No, and I don't think we've got anything here either. No, so we're suffering 4 damage, so we're down to 6, and that's it. And the monster now refocuses, and it goes over here to Khor. A 12! Excellent, so all attacks deal 1 less to the weapon. Does nothing. Okay, so this card, this little symbol, is the darkness symbol, and there is actually a space matching that symbol here. So that means that it is going to target everyone in that main central space, which is a problem for us. We should have moved Asha, but I got greedy. So it's 4 damage. We don't have any weakness. We don't have any armor on Asha. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 4, 3, 2, 1 here. And then we're going to take another 1 here. And she's going to take 1, 2, 3. So she's down to 3, which is a problem for us. If that monster draws that again, we'll go. Now, can you give a boost of a movement after an attack? I don't think so. All right. It's Valora. So we want to take the focus away from Asha. So let's see. We're going to use our snipe for sure. Yeah, snipe. She's not going to move. She's just going to snipe. She gains the focus. And that's a green. So that's 7. It goes down to 6. So we're going to take down to 5. That gets flipped. Can we boost that? I think we can. So it's 1 more from her boost. And then it's also 1 more because she's in the square, which is excellent. Now, does he have a boost that we can use? No, that's only a red boost, and that was a green card, so we can't boost on that. All right. A 2. Okay, so the 2 is going to target Valora. So the wyvern's going to move to here, and it is going to attack Valora. We have 1 shield, so that's going to go from 8 down to 7, and then Khor can take 1. So we're down to 6. Do we have anything to block that? No, we don't. Not there. But we can give another Seeker a movement. Yep, I think we'll give a Seeker a movement. So she's going to move down to here. So she's taking 6 damage. She's down to 2. He then refocuses on the aggro stealer. Come on. It's Asha. Okay. Can Asha get it done? She's got Snake Eyes. Blinding Flash. We stun him. Crush. So those don't do any damage, and neither does that. So I think we can take. I think we can take an exhaustion, can't we? To just redraw our hand. I can't recall. No, okay, so I think what we're going to do, we're actually just going to move over to here. So she's out of range. She's not going to play an action card. We'll pass. Oh, here we go. Pass and draw or discard 1 card. We'll draw a card. There we go. Coup de grace. Oh, that's an 8 attack. That will kill the wyvern. All right, Valora, what do you got for us? She'll stay where she is. She's going to shoot and then move away. Splatter arrow. Yeah, we're going to play a splatter arrow. Oh, wrong thing, don't I? So it does 2. It draws focus, which isn't ideal. But we are going to get to move after that. So it does 2 damage. Can we boost it? No, we can't. But that's fine. She's going to take that. It's going to do 1. But then it's also going to apply, give her to every other enemy and seeker in your target space. Plus we get 2 of these. So we're just going to go 1 and 1. We then move over to here, and because we moved, we're going to apply an armor to Asha. And then I think we can also boost that. That was a red/green, so we can boost it with this. And we'll allow her to draw a card. Okay. 2 health left. Come on, team. 11. It doesn't do anything. Valora. All right, I think Valora can finish it off now. Oh yeah. Because we made a ranged attack, we can reveal Valora's bow and do an extra damage. And yep, and then we'll play a capture rune and reveal Valora's bow and do the final point of damage. Huzzah! The hurt would have knocked him out, but we did it. Die, Wyvern, die! Very, very cool. Very, very cool. So a couple of things I'll say before we go and finish the story, and I learned this with Primal recently. You don't necessarily need a big map for there to be tactical movement decisions. There is a lot of interesting interplay in placement, as well as Valora giving out armor when she moves into a space, Asha being in a spot gaining additional damage, and this guy needing to be nearby to protect people. So there's a lot of interplay in these positionings, which is really interesting and exciting. And Primal did it with 4 spaces and some terrain. And of course, as the game progresses, we will see some different terrain types and impact of that. But yeah, I think it's a really clever integration of movement, and these card interactions with looking to support other players with boosts and when you time things. There's just a lot of really cool stuff. The issue is this, and there are games, no doubt, if you're playing with 4 players, you could go through an entire mission and never draw a character's chip. And that would suck for that person playing the game, never getting to do any cool stuff. I'm playing solo, so I don't really care. Anytime I draw a good guy, it's exciting. So yeah. Now, the one thing I will say, and it is acknowledged by the designers in terms of the fact that could be quite swingy. You have the option to redraw a bag. You can draw 4 chits and choose which one you want by dropping a fate token. So you do actually have some control over that. So it's not game over, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I think the likelihood that it swings so heavily one way or another is pretty minimal. So yeah, I actually think I like it. One of the things that I have a tendency to do is work my way through the optimal pathway for a game, and when you can understand initiative order and be able to game the system, that's a good thing because you're showing a skill. But here you've always just got to be like, well, I don't know, so maybe I won't be able to stop it. So maybe I've got to be prepared for redundancies, and I like the having to come up with layered plans like that. So exciting. I'm excited. Let's go over here. So if the Seeker is defeated, lose the quest. If the Wyvern is reduced to 0, go to 1-5. At last the Wyvern is slain. Some of the merchants from the caravan casually ask to purchase the Wyvern's carcass. Apparently they have a variety of uses. You look at each other and then agree. Provided you can keep some of the wing leather. You take the money they give you but don't offer to help as they load the stinking carcass onto the wagon. Gain $6. Love to see some cash. $6. And then the quest is over. Next time you play, proceed to quest 2. So that's the end of the first episode of BigDenoPlays Kinfire Chronicles. There is a little bit more to happen. There's an elaborate town phase, which we'll look into. But I do need to read the rules for that before we dive too deep into it. But yeah, I've got to tell you, that first playthrough has got me very, very excited for what's to come. Very excited indeed. There's a lot of things that are really manageable and really interesting. And I think one of the marks of good game design is when you have a large amount of decision space and not a large amount of complexity. And that's very hard to do. When you have a lot of complexity, you obviously introduce more levers that you then have to decide what the right path is, but that's at the cost of more cognitive load. So it's a real skill to be able to design a game that has interesting choices without complexity. And that's exciting. So this feels like something we might just play through. We might just run through till the end. 21 scenarios, here we come. Hope you enjoyed. If you're excited to see more of BigDenoPlays, the Kinfire Chronicles, let me know in the comments, etc. below, and I will catch you on the next episode. Big Deno.